guys, it's Code Duchess. Welcome to the first lesson of my new React tutorial series. In this lesson, we are going to be creating an NFT marketplace. So first of all, I'm going to open my terminal and I want to install my React app. I'm making use of Yarn. If you do not have Yarn, you're going to just type npm install yarn and click enter. But for this lesson, I already have Yarn installed, so I'm just gonna say yarn create React app, then the name of your folder, which is NFT marketplace. So guys, after we have created the repository, which is the NFT marketplace, we're just gonna quickly cd into the repository. So after we've cd'd into the repository, we're just gonna say yarn start. So guys, the application is fully loaded in our browser. We're making use of the localhost 3000 and it's running on app.js. So we're just going to quickly open here up and head over to the src folder. And we're going to be deleting things we don't really need. So we don't need this app.css. We also don't need this app.tests.js. We don't need this web vitals and setup test. In the app.js, we also don't need this logo and app.css anymore. We're just gonna cut all of these out, they are no longer necessary, and also remove this class app. Afterward, we're gonna head over to our CSS and remove all the classes. For this tutorial, we are making use of Tailwind CSS for our styling. We're going to remove this web vitals from the index.js, and we're just going to add a dummy text to this app.js. Just say app. There you go guys, it's visible in our browser. Afterwards, we're going to be installing React Router DOM. Open another terminal, and I'm just going to say yarn add React Router DOM. Yarn add React Router DOM. So this React Router DOM is a powerful tool designed specifically for implementing dynamic routing in web applications. What it typically does is it provides faster navigation between different views or pages within the web application. Secondly, we're going to be making use of Tailwind CSS. In our browser, we're going to head over to tailwindcss.com and click on docs. I also want to click on framework guides and click on React app because we're making use of React. So we are done with this process. Basically, we are done with that process, and we're just gonna say yarn add the Tailwind CSS. So we've successfully added Tailwind CSS. We're also going to initialize it, but this time with npx. So you're just going to paste this over here. Now it's initialized. You have a file that's just being created, which is tailwind config.js. Because we are using react.js, we would like to copy all of these and paste it in our config.js file, and afterward we would also like to link the Tailwind CSS to our index.css. And after that, we would copy this text and paste in our app. We want to close this and say yarn run start. So guys, after saying yarn run start, we started our building process, which is making this Tailwind to be functional. You're just gonna say text red 500. Yes, so our Tailwind is working now after restarting the browser. In our SRC folder, we're gonna have a folder for pages. And just say pages. And in our pages folder, we're gonna have a file for landing page. Landing page.jsx. I'm gonna say RAFCE, which is React arrow function. If you do not have this installed, you could go over to your extension and install this ES7 React Redux, which is going to be able to make you make use of this RAFCE function. So after creating my React app, I'm also going to head over back to my app folder, and in my app.js, I'm going to be importing the browser router and routes as well. So I'm just going to say import browser router as router route and route, and all of them are just going to be coming from React router DOM. Afterwards, in my div, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to say router in my router. I'm going to have another div, and I'm going to say routes. And in my routes, I'm going to have one last one, and it's route. So what this does, basically, they just route your pages. They make you make use of the React router DOM so that you can dynamically just change pages in your website. So this route is going to lead me to the home page, which I'm going to say path, and I'm going to just say /. I'm also going to be using the element attribute to channel my landing page to my home page. So I'm just going to say landing page. I'm going to import the landing page. Close the bracket. So that's done. In my app, you're going to be seeing the landing page is what is going to be viewed on the browser. This basically means home. This is like the first page it's going to show. I'm also going to be creating the components folder. And in the component folder, I'm going to have another folder, and I'm going to say layout. in this layout, I'm going to have a file and I'm going to name it layout.jsx. I'm also going to use the React arrow function export component. What this layout does is it wraps our pages. It keeps our pages in a formatted layout, thereby making things much more easier for us. I'm going to call this children. And also I'm going to head back to this layout and create a navbar component. I'm also going to be making use of my React arrow function, and here I'm going to create a footer as well. This is the down part of our website, and we're going to say RAFCE. Let's head back to our layout. Now in our layout, I'm going to call in the navbar, which is navbar. I'm going to import that. I'll also call in the footer as well, which I just going to import that from the layout folder. I'm going to refresh this up, and nothing is going to happen, guys. Nothing is going to happen yet. So in my layout, I would have to have a main element, and this main element is where I'm going to bring the children. So the children is whatever that is inside, whatever the layout is wrapping, whatever the navbar and the footer, whatever's in between them, that is going to be our children. I'm going to go over to our landing page and change this to layout. So I'm just gonna say layout. I'm also going to import the layout from components layout. So you could see our navbar, landing page, footer are all arranged. So let's add Tailwind CSS to this layout. So first of all, I want to give this layout flex. Then I'm just gonna say flex should be column. I'm also gonna give it a minimum height screen, and I want to give it a background color. So this website is going to be in a dark mode format, so I'm going to use this black color that I got. So this is 1 0, not 2 zeros actually. Yeah, so as you can see, the minimum height is screen and it has this beautiful black color. I'm gonna head over to our layout again, and on our main I'm just gonna say class name. I'm gonna give it a flex grow. So what this flex grow does is it makes it take the maximum weight, and it allows this element to grow. So as you can see, let me just make this text to be white so you can see text white. So as you can see, this landing page, whatever it was, like this landing page is, which is our children, it actually grew. This footer had gone down to the ending, it grew. If I should give this a background color, so let me just say red, you could see that it took the whole space, leaving the footer at the bottom. So I'm just gonna remove this and this as well. So after removing that, I'll say padding left and right should be 6. This is going to give the whole website a pattern. If you could see, there's a space here of 6 px. For the larger screen, I'm going to give it a padding of 12. So this is going to increase. It's going to increase. It was 6 before, but now it's 12. I'm also going to give it a margin top of 24. And in larger screen, I'm going to give it a margin top of 36. I'm giving it a margin top is because this navbar is going to have a position of fixed. So this really needs to have a very good margin top. So guys, I'm done styling the layout. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to head over to the navbar where I'm going to continue the styling. In my navbar, I'm going to have a nav. This nav class is going to have a class of fixed. It's also going to have a full width, so you're going to say W full. It's going to have the same background color we had in the layout. I'm just quickly going to copy this. It's going to have a border button. Border, and I'm gonna give it blue 700. Okay, as you can see, my border, my navbar is basically empty, so you're not gonna see anything yet. I'm also gonna give this a P4 and a PX6. For the large screen view, I'm gonna say PX is gonna be 12, and I'm gonna give this a Z index of 50. So guys, when that is done, I'm gonna have a link. And I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna change this quotes and say slash. So this is for our logo, and for our logo I'm just gonna have a H1 in it, and in the H1 I'm just gonna have NFT market place. Afterwards we're gonna style this H1, so I'm just gonna give this a class of text LG. Font should be bold because this is the logo basically, and it's gonna have a text of white. So this is our logo, but we can make this better. We could add some fun colors to it. I want to make this a span tag and put this marketplace in it. I also want to have another span tag and put the NFT in it. Give it a class name, and it's gonna have a background gradient color. I'm just gonna say BG gradient, and this gradient is going to the left. Just gonna say from blue 500 via pink 500 to orange 500. Then also I'm gonna give this a BG clip text, which basically what this does is it clips the whole background color to the text. It's going to take the form of the text. Then as it takes the form of the text, I'm going to give the text a transparent. So I'm making my text transparent. the background color is going to clip to the text, and it's going to have a background gradient of 3 colors: blue, pink, and orange. So as you can see, the colors have changed. I'm also going to darken this blue a bit to 600. Okay, it looks better now. After giving my NFT a background gradient, my span tag for my marketplace, I'm going to have a class name, and I'm going to say margin to the left should be 1. We're also going to have another div after this link, and in the div we're going to have another div. So this div is for our links, and I'm just going to have a link tag, and I'm saying 2. Then I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. In here I'm going to say discovery mint lists. So that's done. I'm going to be routing this to discovery mint and lists. Let's view that in the browser. So it's beneath here. I'm also gonna give this a class, and in this class I'm just gonna say text white, flex, gap is gonna be 4, items are gonna be center. There you go. It's also gonna have a font of medium. Better. In our nav, after the fixed, we're gonna have a flex, and justify should be between. In our mobile view, this should be hidden, so I'm just gonna come over here and say hidden. Then for the flex, it's gonna be large screen should be flex, so it's hidden now. Now that it's done, I'm gonna have a button, but the button is gonna be from a reusable component. Reusable component. In here I'm gonna have a button.jsx. Now button.jsx, I'm just gonna say array fce, and afterward I'm gonna change this to button. I'm gonna give it a class, and I'm just gonna give it py2 ex4. It's gonna have a minimum width of 28. Rounded should be full. Shadow should be MD. Shadow should also be blue. It's gonna have a transform and transition all. It's also gonna have a duration of easing. It's also gonna have a duration of 300. It's gonna have an easing out, and it's going to have some flexible components that we're going to be passing through, because some buttons are going to have border, some are not, some are going to have a different text color. So I'm just going to say border. This is to make it a bit flexible in this code, and I'm just going to also say background. This is text color. And lastly, we're going to be adding the class name. This is going to enable us to make use of this. Afterwards, we're going to copy this up. And we're going to pass them here. I'm going to say border, BG, border, BG, text color. Lastly, we're going to be passing the class name. In here, we're just going to copy this BTN text. This is for button text. And we're going to paste it over here. So now we're going to go back to the nav bar. And below here, we're just going to have the button. So we're making use of the reusable component. So we just say button. And we're going to close this up. We give it a BG of blue. Give it a BG of BG blue 800. Text color is white. Text white. It's also going to have a button text. Of Connect Wallet. Okay, it's in the browser. Okay, there you go. Our button is working. But the button background seems not to be working. Let's go check it out. So guys, there was a mistake in the class name. My apologies. We're gonna remove this and add a curly braces by the two ends. We're also gonna be making use of the back tick. This is the first key on your keyboard. On the second row. And we're gonna check this now. There you go. Our button color is working. Our button text is working. Now that is done, we also want to be making a hamburger. So I'm gonna go over to my reusable components .jsx, say RAFCE. So in our menu, we want to make it open in mobile screen and closed in web screen. So first of all, we're just going to install React icons. Say yarn add React icons. There you go. Our React icons is finished installing. I'm quickly just going to remove this menu from here. And first off, I'm gonna have a button. So guys, I'm just going to search for menu. I think I like this menu, so I'm just going to grab it up and paste here. Also, I'm gonna be importing this as well. So I'm just gonna copy this. Just copy it by tapping on it. And I'm gonna paste it here. I'm just gonna quickly import my menu here. So guys, I don't know if you can see, but it's visible already. I'm gonna give this a styling. So I'm just gonna say class name. Text is gonna be Excel. Text is gonna be blue. And I'm gonna give it 800. And so I'm gonna give this item center to center this menu over here. Now that it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and give my menu some styling. I'm also gonna make it functional. So first of all, I'm just gonna say this is block. Then above LG is hidden. So as you can see, it's not visible on the large screen, but it's visible on the small screen. I also want to give this some toggling functions. So I'm gonna be making use of the use state. So I'm gonna come over here and say const is open, which is asking if the menu is open. I'm just gonna say set is open, which is all going to be equals to if state and I'm gonna set this to false. So this is initially false. Sorry, I'm gonna get false. Now that is done, I'm gonna have another const and it's gonna be toggle menu. And this is gonna be is open and is open. So when you click on this toggle menu and it's open, it's going to close it and open it if it's closed. We're gonna have a div beneath the button, which is going to display our nav bar. So I'm gonna head over to my nav bar and copy this up quickly. Head over to menu and paste. I also import this link tag so that we're not gonna run into errors. I'm gonna give this div a class name, and in the class name I'm gonna have curly braces and a backtick. I'm gonna set the LG to hidden. I'm also gonna set if it's open. I'm gonna have a question mark and a column. Here I'm gonna say hidden. Also gonna have another column here. I'm gonna set the P to 6. In my button I'm gonna say on click. Should be toggle menu. I'm also going to import this button as well. So here I'm gonna click it and I'm having my menu display when I click it. So afterwards I'm gonna give this position of absolute. So as you can see, it has the position of absolute. I'm going to give this a left to 0. It's coming to the left. I'm going to give this a background color of blue, 500. W4, which is 4 breaks. Give it a text of white. And I have a flex call. It's gonna have an item center, the gap of 4. The text is going to be large. Lastly, it's going to have a top of 14. So it's going to have space towards the top. So as I'm clicking this, it's toggling open and close. I also want to change this toggle menu to have another icon, which is the close icon. When you click it, it's going to have a close icon, and when you close it up, it's going to go back to this menu icon. So I'm gonna have my curly braces and say is open. I'm gonna grab this up quickly and paste here, and I'm gonna say R, and I'm gonna also go over to my browser to React icons, click on close text. So I think I'm okay with this one here. I'm gonna grab it up quickly. Clicking on it is going to be copied, paste. I also need to import it, so I'm just going to click on the import, paste, pin it here. Then I'm gonna read on my browser. So guys, it's actually there, but you can't see it because it's very tiny. I'm gonna give this a class of text. It should be red for closing. Also, it's gonna have a text of large so that it can be more visible. So as you can see, guys, when I click this, it's going to open the menu. Actually, this is the other way around. It's the other way around. So I'm just gonna quickly grab this and put here. Then copy this as well and put here. I'm gonna refresh this. So it's the right way now. Our menu is complete. We're gonna go over to start styling our landing page. In the components, we're gonna have a folder for landing page, and in this folder you're gonna have a hero section. So I'm just gonna say hero.jsx React arrow function export component. We're gonna open our pages up and head over to the landing page, and we're gonna replace this with the hero. And this is coming from the landing page. If you could see, it has hero here already. In our hero, we're gonna have an element of a site. So here we're gonna have a patron. Say unlock the future of digital artistry. Afterwards, we're gonna have an image over here. We would have to create another folder for assets. This is where we're going to store our images. To get the exact images I used on this website, you need to head over to my GitHub so that you can have access to this same images as well. I'll also want to rename all my images. So after that is done, in my here I'm gonna say import hero image from, and we're just gonna get that from our assets folder. This we're gonna use NFT one. In here I'm gonna say image src, then set it to hero image. So you can see our text and our hero image. As that is done, I'm gonna be styling this div, so I'm just gonna say class flex call, then above LG I'm saying flex row. You can say the file should be between items center so this is flex already. I'm gonna give this a weight of 1/3. I'm also gonna give this a weight of 1/2. There you go. Then for this, I'm gonna give it a class. This is gonna be text 6XL, and the text is gonna be white for all of them. Now that is done, I want to make use of the typing functionality from React Typical. Basically, this is gonna look like it's typing, so it's gonna beautify our UI more. So here I'm just gonna say yarn add React Typical. So that's just done. I'm gonna have a file here. I'm gonna name it typing header.jsx. I'm gonna be making use of my React arrow function once more. So in here, I'm gonna head over here and grab my H1 and paste it over here. I'm gonna remove this dummy text and I'm gonna import typical. So I'm just gonna say typical. I'm gonna import typical, post that up, and say steps. Steps is actually the different text that would be typed. We're gonna go over here once more and copy this text. A single quote and say unlock the future of digital artistry. This typing is going to take 2 seconds. 2000 stands for 2 seconds. I'm going to duplicate this 3 times, and in here I'm going to say collectibles. And here I'm going to say assets. This is going to have a loop attribute, and I'm going to set it to 1. So this is going to be continuously looping. I'm also going to have a wrapper attribute as well and say span. Now that it's done, I'm going to head over to my hero. I'm going to cut this because it's no longer needed, and I'm going to say type in header. Import this, close this up, check it out. I'm gonna refresh this and it works. It's typing collectibles assets. Good. So beneath this typing header, I'm gonna have a p tag. This p tag is gonna have a class name. Here we're gonna say dive to the universe where creativity meets blockchain. Explore exclusive NFTs created just for you. And I'm gonna view that up. Yep, that's good. So in the p tag, I'm just gonna say text MD and text XL. So this is for the mobiles. Then for the large screen, it's gonna be text XL. Okay, that looks good already. We also want to give this a space Y4, and for large screen should have a space Y8. Okay, so it has a space between the 8. And beneath this p tag, I'm gonna have a div, and this div is gonna have 2 links with buttons on side. So I'm just gonna say link, and I'm also gonna import this link immediately. React DOM, duplicate that. It's a class flex item center gap is 5. We're gonna have a button here. In this button we're gonna say background should be blue. $700. We also want the text color to be text white. The button text should be discover. And guys, we've not yet imported this button, I know. So I'm just gonna import it. Then here I'm gonna say to discover. So this is gonna link me to the discovery page. I'm also gonna have here, it's gonna link me to the main page. I'm gonna have a button. This button is gonna have a border this time. We've not made use of the border before. I'm making use of it now. It's gonna have a border, border again, white. It's also gonna have a text color, and this is text, should be white. It's also gonna have a text, and the BTN text should be mint. This will lead to the minting page. So there you go, and it's going to have this time a class name. There you go, it looks beautiful already. So guys, I want to add an animation to this work. I want this image to have an animation where it's just like going up and down vertically. So I want to install Framer Motion. Yeah, add Framer Motion. While this is installing, I also want to create a new component on the landing page. It's going to be hero image. Here I'm going to add the hero image so that our work is going to look more neat. I'll head over to my hero and cut this image because we don't need it here anymore. Check back and my Framer Motion has been installed. So I'll go over to this hero image, remove this up. I want to return motion image, so I'm just going to remove this as well. Dot image. This motion is going to be coming from Framer Motion. Let me manually import the motion from Framer Motion. So I'm just going to say motion from Framer Motion. So this motion has been manually imported. I'm also going to import our image. So I'll head over here and copy this up and paste. Say src is equals to hero image in curly braces. This is just gonna be empty. I will just say hero image. It's gonna have a class name, and the class name is gonna be width 1/3 and rounded 3XL. It's going to have an animate attribute, and we're going to say on the y-axis, which is the vertical axis, it's going to be 0, -20, and 0 again. It's also going to have a transition with a duration of 2 seconds. So this is going to be moving up and down on the y-axis for 2 seconds each. It's also going to have an ease transition, and it's going to be ease in out. Repeat infinity. So guys, with this repeat infinity, it's just going to keep moving up and down, up and down, up and down till infinity. Now we want to come back here and bring in our hero image. From hero image, we just imported it up here. So guys, I think they are having an issue with the naming of the image. I would like to just name this hero image because it's having an error due to the fact that this hero image is used as imported and at the same time it's declared. So guys, as you can see, our hero image is bouncing up and down vertically. Now guys, let's make this a bit responsive. In the hero, we're just gonna give this an LG for the aside so that it's going to take the full weight. Now it's taking the full weight. We also want to reduce the size in this text further, so I'm just gonna say LG, and here I'm gonna say text is gonna be XL to reduce the size. Okay, it's a bit reduced, but I think we should give it 3XL. This is better. We head over back to our hero image, and we want to give this a margin top of 14 because it's literally touching here, and now it has a margin top of 14. I also want to say on the larger screen it should have no margin top, so I say margin top of 0. We want to give it a full width, and in the larger screen it's going to have the default width of 1/3. So guys, we're done styling the mobile view. Now we want to create another section. So the name of the section is going to be called trending NFTs.jsx. We're gonna give our React arrow function, and in this section we're gonna have some NFT cards just swiping beneath here, and we're gonna be making use of the React slick slider. So first of all, we're gonna say yarn add React slick We head over to React Slick slider on our browser. So in the React Slick slider, we're gonna copy this on the yarn, and we're also gonna install it as well. While that is loading, we copy this import and add it to our trending NFT. It's done loading. Head over to the examples, and in the examples we're going to click on responsive. In the responsive, we're first going to copy this import slider from React Slick and paste below here. We're also going to copy the settings and paste it before our return. Close here up. We're going to make this trending NFTs a H1. So we're just going to say H1 trending NFTs. We're also gonna have a div that's gonna house the React Slick. So this div is gonna have a class of carousel container. It's gonna have a slider. And this slider is going to import the settings that is above. And this slider is going to have the setting that's above. Close this up. And in here, we're supposed to have something that we're mapping. Let's just say a card or whatever that we are mapping. I'm also going to import this trending NFTs in my landing page. So you can see my React Slick slider here, but it's not yet sliding because we only have one object here. So in order to make this Slick slider work, we need to create an NFT card, which we are going to be using in this tutorial. So I'm going to go over to reusable components because we're going to make use of this NFT card in multiple places, and I'm just going to say NFT card .jsx. We're gonna have a React arrow function. First of all, we're gonna give this class a width of 52. You're also gonna have an image in the stack for the NFT image, and the SRC is gonna be NFT.image. Then we're gonna head over back to the trending NFTs, and we're gonna bring back this NFT card that we just created. So just say NFT card. So first of all, we wanna create a utilities folder where we're gonna store all this NFT data, and we're gonna be bringing it into this card. So in our SRC, we're gonna create a file called called utils. In utils, we're gonna have a file called index.js. In here, first of all, we're gonna say export constant NFTs equals. Then we're gonna have the first one with an ID of 1. Name, it's gonna be something like NFT 1. Price is gonna be 0.001. It's gonna be NFT 1. We're also gonna keep a comma here. Afterwards, we want to import our images from our assets. So first of all, I'm gonna say import NFT 1 from assets NFT 1. So we are importing this image that we are making use of here from the assets. I'm also going to be duplicating this 8 times. Copy this one and change them to 2. Copy this, change them to 3. Copy this, change it to 4. And I'm going to be importing the rest images. Do the same for this. So guys, remember these images, you can get them on my GitHub. So we're done with this. We will now head back to our trending NFTs. And in our trending NFTs, we want to import the NFT. So I'm just going to say import NFT from the utils. What we actually importing is this NFTs right here. This particular one is what we're importing. We're also going to scroll down here and map the NFTs because they are more than one. So I'm going to just say NFTs dot map, and what I'm mapping is an NFT. I'm mapping an NFT. create an arrow function, and we're gonna have a div inside with the key of NFT.id, which is this unique ID they each have. And what we are mapping is this NFT card. So I'm just gonna cut this and paste over here. And we want to pass the NFT inside. So we're just gonna say NFT is equals to NFT. Close all this up and check our browser. So guys, it's not yet returning anything. Go over to our NFT card. So sorry guys, we made a big mistake in this SRC. It's supposed to be NFT dot. No, this is just wrong. NFT dot image. This image is coming from the utils file. So we say we're bringing an NFT and this image. So now we're going to check our browser. NFT is not defined. So guys, sorry, we're going to pass in this NFT here. We're going to pass this NFT here. And there you go. It's displaying only the NFT images for now. So we're also going to pass in the other objects from the utils, and we're going to say div, and this div is going to have a h1 for the NFT name. So we're just going to say h1 nft.name, which is this name, and check our browser. And as you can see, our NFT name is showing. We're also going to bring in the rest, which is the price. So in this div, we're still going to have another div, and in this div we're going to say key tag nft.price, and we're also going to have a button. And this button is going to have a background. BG blue 800. It's also going to be having a text color of text white. It's going to have a button text by. Now let's style the whole card now that all our objects are complete. So first of all, I want to give this card rounded. I'm gonna say overflow hidden. It also have a margin of 2. BG slate 500, and it's also gonna have a BG opacity of 5. So now it has a background and a background opacity. I want all the text to be white, so it's going to be visible. Also want the margin in the x-axis to be auto. I want it to have a shadow of blue 500. Okay, I also want it to transform. when I hover on it. And when I hover on it, I want it to translate. On the y-axis, and it should be 1. So when I hover on it, it's moving upward on the y-axis. I also want it to scale when I hover on it, so I'm just gonna say scale to be 105. The default scale is 100, but when I say 105, it's going to increase a bit in size. I'm going to give it a transition to transform. In this case, it's going to transform in ease, in, out, and it's going to be transforming under 2 seconds. So under 2 seconds, it increased and reduced in size. So that is done. I also want to style my image, so I'm just going to say class name. The width should be full, and the height should be 40. So this is reducing the height of this image. I'm also going to give it an object cover, which is going to make the image appear more clearer. So you can see the image covered the whole width and height. It's spread around and it's making the image look much more clearer than it was before. So this little div I have, the sub div I have, which is housing the name and the price with the button, it's going to have a pattern of 2. It's also going to have a pattern bottom of 4. And the items inside should be spaced on the y-axis too. So you can see the items inside has a spacing of 2, 2, 2. For this h1, it's going to have a class name of font should be bold. The text should be MD, which is the default one by the way, and the text should be blue, 700. Nice. So this div that has this p tag, I actually want to add an image here. So this website is for ICP and we are using the Definity ICP logo. So you can get it on Seek logo. It's what I use to get each and every logo I use for coding. I'm going to tap on this single logo here and I'm going to download the vector. I'm going to rename this Definity. Now that is done, I'm going to head over back to my NFC card and import logo from Definity SVG. So in here, before the p tag, which is the price, I'm gonna have an image tag, then src logo, the Definity logo is here already, but I want to reduce this logo. I'm just gonna say W should be 6. Then I also want to add some styling to this p tag, and I'm just gonna say text SM. Then for this div, I'm gonna give it a flex. Item center. and it's just going to have a gap of 2. Okay, it looks pretty already. So guys, that's gonna be all for the NFT card. I'll head over back to my landing page and to my trending NFTs. In my trending NFT, I want this to have an autoplay, to be playing without me, manually doing it. So I'm just gonna come over here and say autoplay. I'll set that to true. So it's playing automatically. I'm also going to say auto play, then speed, and this is going to be 3 seconds, so it should move every 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I also want to add another one, which is pause, on, over. I'll set that to true. So it's not playing when I'm hovering on an item. So when I hover on an item, I could see that it's entering this section up here. So I want to go over to my div and style this div. I'm just going to say class name, margin top is 10. Then for the larger screen, I want the margin top to be 20. So as you can see, it's better already. I also want to make this visible, so I'll give this a class name, the text of white. Text is equals to XL, and the LG is text 3XL. The font should be semi-bold, and it should have a margin bottom of 5. So the text is not yet white because I omitted an E. It looks better already. I want to check the responsiveness. Okay, so right now on the smaller screen, it's displaying 1. It's also displaying 3 on the larger screen. So this is very responsive. Lastly, we're gonna style our footer. So if you remember, we actually have a footer, but we didn't really style it. Actually, we just left it blank, but now we want to style this footer. So I've headed over to my components and my layout and my footer. So in this footer, first of all, we just want to give this a class name, and I want to give it a blue color of 800, padding X of 6. In the larger screen, it's going to have a padding of 12 and a padding Y of 16. Okay, this is our photo already. Has a padding of 6 and 16. I also wanted to have a margin top of 8 and a text white. All text should be white. Okay, we're gonna delete this text over here, and we're gonna have a div inside this folder. So for the first div, we want to head over to our nav bar. So quickly copy this, go over to the footer and paste. I'm gonna import this link over here. There you go. We also want to have a p tag beneath this link, so just gonna say p. And for the p tag, I think we should just want to copy this up and paste here. So we want this div to have a width of 96. So say class name, and for only the large screen it should have a width of 96. It has a width of 96. We also want to have a div here. Cut this up and put it below this. We have another div as well over here. These divs are for the links. So we're gonna have this links copied from here. Only the links, not button. And we paste here. This link we're gonna have a flex. For this parent div we want to have a flex. It should be flex column for smaller screen. For larger screen it should be flex row. It should then have a justify between. It should have a border bottom with a border of white. Okay, it has a border bottom. We also want to style this. Give it a flex. It should have a space of 4. And beneath this div, we want to have a div. This div we're gonna have an ampersand. This div we're gonna have a p tag. Means an ampersand. Copy. 2024 code Duchess. Dap mentors. Actually, I'm partnering this video with Dap Mentors. It's a Solidity YouTube channel. They are going to make use of this code to create a full main theme website. I want this text to be in the center. So go over here and say flex justify center. It should also have a padding top to the fore. There you go. This div should have a padding bottom. So I'm gonna say PB4. Beautiful. I'm also gonna view it on the mobile screen. I would want this to be in the center on the mobile screen. So I'm just gonna go over here and say justify center for mobile screen, but for large screen it should still remain justify start. This should also have a margin top, so I'm gonna give it a margin top of 6. But for large screen it should have no margin top. Then I want to reduce the size of this photo, so I'm gonna say PY10. For larger screen it's going to remain the same. There you go. Guys, I would like to set this infinity to true over in the trending NFTs so that it's going to keep moving in the loop. Now that it's done, I would like to work on the mint page. So this mint page is basically empty. Because we don't have a mint page yet. So I'm just gonna say mint JSX React arrow function export component. So we're just going to route this to mint, and it's going to be coming from the mint page. So as we click on that, we're gonna have a mint appear here. So guys, this mint page is basically the page that we are going to be creating and minting NFTs. First off, we want to add the layout from the layout component. There you go. So after adding our layout, we would like to have a div inside, and in that div we would like to have a h1. The h1 would say create NFT, and it should have a class of text center text for XL. Text should be white, and font should be semi-bold. Now I would like to have a model beneath this. Let me just increase the view of the screen to make it much more easier to see. I'll have to have a form beneath it, so we're just going to say from. And on this form, we want to have 3 use states for the name, the price, and the image. So first of all, I'm just going to say call NFT name, set NFT name, which is equals to use state and it's empty. The second one is gonna be cost NFT image set NFT image, which is going to be equals to use state as well. And we're gonna say no, that means there's no image set. I'll have the last one, which is cost NFT price set NFT price, which is gonna be equals to use state again. So in my form, I want to create a div for the selected image where the image is going to show, which is going to be visible for you to see the kind of image you selected. I'm going to say NFT image and pass on twice. It's going to display in this image tag, and in the SRC I want to set the URL create objects URL. Then it's going to select this NFT image. I'm also going to have a label below this div for upload image. So I'm going to say HTML for image upload, and in the label it's going to have a text of upload image. So you can see the label for upload image right there. I want to style this form and give it a class name. Width full on the small screen. The large screen is going to have a width of 2/5, which is also 40%. It's going to have a border, and the border should be blue. 800. Okay. Then I want to have a shadow. Of blue. 800. There you go, it's working now. The shadow is gonna be empty though. It's better. I want this form to have a pattern of 5, but on the large screen, it's gonna have a pattern of 10, unrounded, 3XL. In our main div, it's gonna have a class name. It's gonna be flex column, and I'll say justify. No, it's items center. It's also gonna have a full width. Then the H1, I would like to give it a margin bottom of 10, and I would like to give this a margin bottom of 20 away from the photo. I also want to style my label, so I'm going to give it a class name, and this class name is going to be margin top should be 4. It should be displayed in a block format. The text should be white. The font should be semi-bold. The text should be large. And the margin bottom should be 2. I want to create a handle image change, so I'll say const handle image change is equals to an event, because we're still in for an event, and I'm gonna say const file, which is the image file from our computer, equals to event dot target dot files. For now, it's going to be having no file, so it's not going to be targeting any file. If file set to be the file that is coming from your computer. I also want to have a const handle submit. It's just going to listen for an event. You say event dot prevent. It should console.log. Submitting collection name. So what this handle submit does is it prevents the default sum formation, and it also logs the name of the selected NFT. Now we also want to have a label to select the file. I'm gonna have a div. I'm gonna copy this label and paste here. In this span, we're gonna say NFT image, NFT image again dot name, or no file chosen. So this is going to bring out an image. So what this does is it's looking for an image for you to set the image. If it has an image or image and a name of the image, it should display the image name. If the image has no name, it should just display the image. If we did not select any image at all, it's going to provide no file chosen. So let's view this on the browser. As you can see, it's saying no file is chosen yet. Then need an input tag where we could choose this images. So beneath the span tag, I want to have an input. It's going to have a type of file because it's a file that we are selecting from our system. It's also going to have an ID of image uploaded. It's going to have this attribute called accept, which accepts images. It's also going to have an onChange function, which is equals to handle image change. This function right here. You're gonna have a class name, BG, transparent, flex 1, and it's going to have a text of slate 800. It's also going to have a default style to be initially displayed none, so that it's not going to be showing until you select an image. So guys, this ID is not matching with the HTML4, so I'm just going to remove this extra. That's image upload. So guys, when I click this choose file, it allows me to choose images. So I want to head over to this parent div and style it. So first of all, I'm going to say flex gap 2. Put this on a line. I'm also going to say item center to put it in the middle. Give it a BG of slit 100. This would have full width, so we say W4. It's going to also have a height of 12. Okay. Then it's also going to have border radius of rounded 4. It's going to have a margin bottom of 5 for whatever is beneath it. And on the larger screen, it's going to have a margin bottom 10. We're going to remove this formal styling we gave to this choose file and replace them with a new styling. So this is going to have a background color of blue 700, text of white, and the text in there. It's also going to have a padding of 2, a full rounding, and a height of 4. That is going to take up this page 12. Okay, it looks good already. The font is going to be medium. It's also going to have a flex and items center to place this item in the center there. So now I'm clicking on the choose file. I'm going to say I'm choosing this file. Open it. As you can see, the file we're choosing is displaying over here. I want to give this a cursor of pointer so that people entering the website could know that this could lead me to my file. I'll close this up. Then for this image, I want to style this image which is displayed up there. I want to give it a class of width 20, height 20. Okay. For the large screen, I wanted to have a width of 24 and a height of 24. This is for the large screen, which is this desktop view. It's going to have a rounded of LG. Object should be cover. Also need a shadow of MD. Shadow should have a blue color. So say shadow blue, and I leave this at 800. It's going to have a MX of auto. Yeah. Now we're just going to create the input for the name, price, and a submit button. So I'm going to have a div. It's going to have a class name. I'm just going to grab this up quickly and paste. I'm also going to have a label above, so I'm just going to copy this label quickly, paste it here, and we change this to NFT name. The label 4 is going to be for NFT name. Okay, we have for NFT name. Also in this div, you're gonna have an input for the NFT name. So just say input. Type is text. Name is NFT name. ID is NFT name. Value is NFT name. Could have an unchange. Gonna have an event with an R function of set NFT name. It's also going to have an event.target.value. All this is going to have a placeholder with an example of a name. Let's just say cyberpunk. It's gonna have a class name, and we're gonna copy this class for the input above here. We want to remove this outline, so we say focus, and we will say outline none, so it no longer has a focused outline. We also want to give this a pattern towards the left of 2 pixels. Let's make it 4 pixels instead. This looks better. Lastly, we're gonna have another label, an input for the NFT price. I'm going to duplicate this NFT name and label. For this one, it's going to be NFT price. For this one as well, it's going to be number. I'm gonna duplicate this. You're gonna select this and say NFT price. Also here, you're gonna change this N. There you go. And the placeholder, I'm just gonna say 0.001 and check it up in the browser. So this is not going to have a placeholder due to the fact that it's a number. So I'm gonna remove this placeholder. I'm also going to make the padding general so that this could go inside. As you can see, it's inside. Lastly, we need to have a button for the submission. So we're gonna have another div. Give it a flex and justify center. We're gonna bring this button and import it. I'm gonna give this button a background of BG blue 800, text color, it's going to be white. It's also gonna have a button text of mint and NFT. So guys, we're done with our form. Let's check the responsive view. It's pretty responsive enough to me. Now lastly, let's create a list page. Where we're going to be listing our NFTs. We would also like to import this in our app.js. It's on this list, and here will be lists NFT.js. So guys, in this list NFT, we're gonna have our layout. We're quickly going to open Mint and copy this header. Here we're gonna say Mint. Here we're gonna say my NFT collection. You're also gonna have a div where we're gonna map all our NFTs. We will head over to our landing page in our trending NFTs and copy this mapping function. You're also going to import this NFTs from the utils page and NFT card from the reusable components. So guys, it's listing our NFTs and we want to display this on a grid format. So we're gonna go over to this div and say grid, column is 1. For medium screen, we'll say grid, column is 3. Then for the large screen, we say grid column is 5. So it's 5 on the large screen. It's 5 on the large screen, 3 on the medium, and for the small screen it's 1. We also want to make it be in the middle at all time. So say MX auto. And for the large screen, it's going to have a gap of 4. So therefore beneath it, it has this default gap of 4. I want to make this text to be start. I also want to give it a text of Excel for the small screen, but above the small screen should have a text of for Excel. Same for the maintain page, which I got this from. I want to give it a text Excel, and above the small screen should have a text of for Excel. So guys, it looks good already. I want to make this a text of center in the small screen, and above that it should have a text of start. I also want to make this margin bottom of 5 for small screen. Then above that should have a margin bottom of 10. I would like to leave this gap for all screens so that it's going to have a good enough spacing between them on the smaller screen. I'll also have to increase this text a bit. So let's say text 2XL. Looks better. Let's grab this up and change it and replace the one we have in the mint. Let's move over to the mint page. Yeah, it looks better. So guys, we don't have a discovery page yet. So on our menu, which is in our reusable component, we're just going to leave this as home page. We're also going to check our navbar if this is leading to any discovery page. And our footer as well. So guys, let's check it one more time. Home page. comment page, and a list page. The remaining part of this tutorial will be featured on that mentor's page in some weeks to come, so you should just stay tuned. There he's going to teach you how to mint NFTs and list NFTs on your page. It's also going to teach you much more. So thank you for checking by my tutorial. I would like to end this tutorial by adding font family to this code. So I'm heading to Google Fonts. I'm going to be making use of the DM sans. Get embedded code. So you use the imports. We're just going to copy it. Head over to our index.css. Paste it above. You're also going to copy this as well. Save body. It looks much more better. So guys, make sure you support my work by liking this tutorial, sharing and commenting, and I'll see you on the next one. I remain Code Duchess, and goodbye.